Hey friend, welcome to the Badass is the New Black podcast, where our motto is done is better than perfect. I'm Chrissy Chin, here on a mission to help you grow your business online, turn your leads into lifelong customers, and scale to six figures and beyond so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more. Most importantly, I'm a laid-back wife, a mom, a friend who started as a peds nurse, turned network marketer, and now a serial entrepreneur. This podcast is for ambitious people with an idea, a vision, but no idea how to get there. On this podcast, I'll give actionable steps to keep you moving forward while you learn new business strategies, better systems and processes, marketing, sales, all the things you need to build and scale a blissful business that keeps your pocketbooks growing. Grab a beverage, open up your notes app, and let's get to it. Today's podcast episode is brought to you by last night's makeup and early morning bedhead. It's only going to make sense if you're watching on YouTube, but I just got home from my morning walk with my pup, and I didn't want to wait to record this because I just had these thoughts and these ideas flowing, and if I waited until I was showered and makeup done and ready to record an official episode, I don't think I'd have so much clarity in what I want to say and how I want to share it. So here I am, and I just want to talk about how to get the right people to show up, to come, to purchase, and kind of the two big things that I learned from a retreat that Claire and I just hosted. So welcome to the episode. Let's dive in. So I recently hosted a retreat with my sister, Claire, and I was driving to the destination, which was our lake house. And on my way to the retreat, I got a text from the chef that was supposed to be preparing meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner all day Friday, all day Saturday. And the text message read that he was in the ER and waiting for a diagnosis that was potentially going to send him right into surgery. And instantly, I don't even think I had a sense of panic. It was just like, really? Like, this is happening now? And I just texted Claire and I forwarded her on the message, and she was like, okay, well, and I was like, I'll be there in 30 minutes. And our guests were going to be arriving, 2 hours later. And so I arrived, and we just thought, gosh, we just have to put a menu together. And thankfully, Claire really enjoys cooking. If you know me at all, you know I am not a chef in the kitchen. And so I was like, I'm like literally trying to rack my brain of like, okay, what are like 3 meals that I can make really well that are delicious and don't take a ton of time for prep, right? Because we wanted to be able to engage with our attendees and spend time with them, not spend a bunch of time cooking, which is one of the reasons why we hired a chef in the first place, to cater everything besides to have very delicious, nutritious meals for everyone. And so anyway, we came up with the menus. Long story short, Claire realized that she absolutely loved preparing the meals for the guests. And that was just part of how she was able to show up and host. And it was really incredible. I don't even know where this part of the story was leading to, except for the fact that this whole retreat has been about just trusting that what was supposed to happen was going to happen. And that leads me to the topic of how to get the right people to show up to your event to purchase. One of the things that you have to rely on is just trust. Trust that the right people are going to show up in the right moment and do the thing. Trust that you are going to show up in a way, in an authentic way. I'm here with last night's makeup and bedhead in a sweatshirt and a jacket because I literally walked in for my walk. I'm showing up and I'm trusting that the right people are going to listen to the end of this podcast episode. I'm trusting that the words that I'm speaking are going to touch someone, somewhere, somehow. And so this whole process has been a lot about trust. When I envisioned having a retreat, I have been thinking about it for a long time, but I had just come back from a retreat. I did a podcast episode on it a while ago, and there was a large group there. There was like 13 of us there. And so when I envisioned this retreat that I was hosting, I envisioned a house full of people. I envisioned every bed taken with a beautiful human being. And I envisioned just a large group that could network and build relationships and bonds and share ideas and visions and all of that with each other. And deep down inside, I also had this fear that people weren't going to show up. If I put this retreat out there, no one's actually going to come. You feel like you've ever had that thought before, that if I make this offer, is anyone actually going to buy it? Or if I host this event, is anyone actually going to come? It could be a simple class that's free, or a workshop, a masterclass, a webinar. Is anyone actually going to attend? I think that's a huge limiting belief that many of us carry, even me, years in, who's hosted a virtual summit where 4,000 people showed up. I still have those doubts and those fears at times. Those limiting beliefs creep in that nobody is going to show up. But I want to talk more about not only how to have people show up, but how to make sure they're the right people. Okay, I put this retreat out there. Finally, I realized, okay, I think it's fear that's holding me back from like actually putting the retreat out there into the world and actually having some place where people can sign up and pay for this retreat. And so I basically just had to tell myself, look, if this is fear, I was basically trying to decide, is this fear that's holding me back, or is this not the right time? And the more I sat on it, the more I thought, I think this is fear. I think it's fear that no one's going to show up. I think it's fear that I'm not going to be able to make an impact. I think it's all just fear. And so I just decided I've got to do it. I've got to put the date out there. So I put the date out there, had a way for people to fill out a form to basically apply and to purchase. And that first day that I put it out, I emailed it out, I posted it on social media, I shared it with some friends, and we had one person jump in. One person fill out the form. I sent the invoice. They paid the invoice. They were coming all the way from Texas. They were purchasing a flight. Like, this was good news. This was the start. It was day one that I had put it out there. And I was like, oh, this is going to be easy peasy. No problem. We're going to fill up this retreat in no time. It's going to be amazing. I had already talked to a bunch of people that had wanted to come. And then the day went on and no one else. And then I had a friend sign up who we had talked about the retreat for a long time. And so that worked out well. Okay, we've got 2 people. And then after that, it was just quiet for a while. All the people that I had talked to that had shown interest in wanting to come, for one reason or another, couldn't come. It wasn't a priority for them at the time. They had a scheduling conflict. They couldn't take on the financial investment. Everyone had different reasons. And it was okay, whatever their reason was. But I realized kind of quickly, like, ooh, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought. Right? And I wanted to have a big retreat. Sometimes I feel like bigger is better. If I can serve more people, it's going to be better. If there's more people there, there's more people to network with. There's more businesses to hear about. There's more people to show at the retreat. And what I realized in this retreat was that bigger isn't always better. And trusting that if I show up in my authentic way, that the right people are going to show up. We ended up having 3 amazing human beings at this retreat, and I had done lots of things to try and get more people there. I changed the date of the event. I discounted the pricing of the retreat, and people didn't jump in after that point. And so it was like, okay, those actually weren't the holdups, the scheduling conflicts and the investment. Those people just were not meant to be here in this moment in time. And the people that showed up and arrived and made the investment were the people that were supposed to be there. And it was evident the entire weekend. It showed me that bigger isn't always better, that having a small, intimate setting can be incredibly impactful, incredibly powerful. We were able to touch the lives of 3 amazing individuals and really dive into their business and help them get clarity on maybe what offer they were going to put out there, or that next step that they were going to take, or allowing the realization that maybe slowing down is okay in this season in their life, and kind of having some acceptance with that and peace with that. And so we touched these girls in different ways, and they touched me in so many different ways too. Just bringing my awareness to intimate can be just as powerful and impactful as some big thing. They taught me to trust the process. They taught me to trust the outcome. Trust that even though I had this vision, I'm all about like manifesting and manifest the numbers. If you see the big numbers, like they will come. But really that wasn't what I needed in the moment. What I needed in that moment was to learn that bigger isn't always better, that impact can be made on a small level, and that people will show up. And it might not be as many people as you envisioned or thought you needed to make this big impact, but someone is going to show up. And so that limiting belief of, I'm going to put this out there and no one's going to purchase. I'm going to put this out there and no one's going to attend my event. I'm going to put this out there and people are going to, not see it and not participate. It's a lie. One person is going to show up, and that is all the difference. Because that one person, you can make an impact on their life, and that one person can give you feedback on your process. Whether it's an offer that you've put together, a coaching session that you've crafted, a workshop that you're hosting, or a retreat that you're doing, they can provide feedback for you on what worked, what didn't work, how to make it better. One person is all that you need to make a difference. And so I want to give you another tangible way to make sure that the right people show up. But this first way is just kind of woo-woo. And it's just all about trust. That trust could be faith. If you're faith-based, that trust could be internal trust, could be trust in the universe, whatever it is that you kind of look up to, trusting that what is supposed to happen is happening. Full circle, when Claire and I were prepping these meals the entire weekend, I kept thinking, oh my gosh, thank goodness we don't have a group of 11 people to be cooking for. Like, how stressful would that be, right? And maybe that's why we had so much peace with, all right, like we've got to prepare now 6 more meals than we were anticipating for a group of people, but it was 5 people in total, not 11. And so it was much more doable. We cook for 5 people all the time in my family. It's kind of like bringing us back to the whole chef thing. But like everything happens for a reason. And I kept thinking like, maybe this is why it's small, because we were going to have to prepare this food and this is much more manageable. When we were able to get in really deep in these women's businesses, I was like, maybe this is why it was small, because we got some extra time. When it came down to the day of content creation, and we were all originally going to get about 30 minutes, then it expanded to 45 minutes, and then we basically all got like an hour each, and the content that we created with each other can be used by each other. And so literally we all got a full day of content creation, like hours and hours of video that we can use. And so it was like, maybe this is why it's small, because this is what we all really needed in this moment. So just trusting the process, and if that is a limiting belief of yours that no one is going to show up, this fear that I'm going to put something out there and it's not going to pan out, let's break that limiting belief. People show up. One person showing up is enough to get you started, because the next event that you do is going to be bigger, and the next one that you do is going to be bigger if you want it to be bigger. I have one other major way to help the right people show up, but kind of like two. So, and I mentioned it before, like showing up as your authentic self, being true and honest about who you are, maybe what you stand for, what you believe in, your process, how you operate and work with people. If you're very transparent about that and show up in that way, you're going to attract people that resonate with that. And so when they come to an event, a workshop, a retreat, a coaching session, and you've been very authentic about kind of who you are, then there's no surprises for them. And therefore, the right person shows up. The person that is inspired by what you do, how you help people, your process. So that's one way to just be authentically you. Don't try and be anyone else. Embrace who you are. Maybe the little quirks about you is so funny. Someone had invited me to a women's entrepreneurs event in Atlanta soon. And in the invitation, they had some typos. And I go, oh, a few typos in this invite. I go, they're my kind of people. Because that's me. Like that just happens. Sometimes I don't proofread. Like I know that it's supposed to be a different word, right? But I didn't proofread. So just being authentic and like showing up and like, I'm going to go to the event, not just because they had a typo, but it sounded intriguing and whatnot. And you know what? I think I'm probably the right person for them to show up. Okay. So having trust is number one. Just trusting that things are supposed to work out the way that they're supposed to work out. And if it's something different than what you anticipated, there's a lesson to be learned. My lesson to be learned was that bigger is not always better, and we can make a huge impact on something small and intimate. Okay, be authentic, be your true self, and the right people will show up. And then number three is the messaging. Okay, what you put out there, how you speak about it, the purpose behind it, the transformation that's going to happen. The right messaging will attract the right people. So when we put this retreat out there, we had a banner and it said, rest, relax, renew. Might have been in a different order, but it was 3 R's. And it was basically this sense of like, come to the lake house, this tranquil space, and get some rest, get some relaxation, renew. We had messaging about clarity, getting clarity in your business, clarity in your offers, and then content creation. So being able to have something that you could use later to promote these things that we just got clarity on and talked about, taking action. And so because we had these kind of 3 pieces to the retreat, and we put those words on the landing page and we put those words in the email, we attracted people that was exactly what they wanted. And therefore the right people showed up. Kelly, who was from Texas, said, I saw those 3 R's, that rest, relax, renew, and that was exactly what I needed. I needed to step away from my home and my family life and just get into this space where I could reflect, take time for myself, dive into my business with you guys. And it was what she needed. It was what she came for. It was what she got. We had another student who really wanted clarity on her offers. And so that really spoke to her in the messaging. And that's what she got. She got clarity. She got an idea on what that first digital offer was going to be that she was going to provide. And I cannot wait to see it transform and unfold. And then the content creation. Someone else came mostly for the content creation. And that's exactly what they got, a full day of content creation. And we all got that. And that's going to allow us to all take action. So the words that you put out, how you describe your event or your workshop, set the expectations beforehand so that there's no, surprises when people show up and arrive and it's something different. Say what you mean and do what you say. I don't know if that's how the saying goes, but that just came out of my mouth. So those are the 3 things, the 3 ways to get the right people. Trust that the right people are going to show up at the right time. Be authentic to who you really are so that you attract people that resonate with you and aren't surprised by maybe who you really are when they step into your space, whether it's a coaching session, a workshop, or a retreat. And number 3, make sure that the messaging on whatever you're promoting, social posts, emails, websites, landing pages, that it really is speaking truth to what you're offering and how you're going to present it, and describes that person that you are looking for. And that's why it's incredibly important to know who you're trying to attract. So if you haven't done any avatar work, your dream customer, and thinking about that dream customer and who you want to bring into your ecosystem, that is incredibly important. We talk to our students about that all the time. So that's it. That's what I got for you. This impromptu episode. I hope that you got a little something out of it. And I hope that the next time this limiting belief comes up for you, that no one's going to show up, that you can be like, wait, I remember Chrissy said that one person's going to show up. And it could be your freaking mom. Okay? It could be your mom who shows up to support you because no one else did. And they can give you feedback. Okay? One person is going to show up. I promise. I promise. Okay? Put in the work. Do the work. It's time to take imperfect action. Okay? And we'll see you later. If you are at the beginning stages of your business, or maybe you've been at it for a little while, but you're still kind of trying to figure out what it is that you want to offer, how you want to show up, then I have a free gift for you. It's called How to Turn Your Knowledge into Profit. You can find it at thechrissychin.com/profit. And what this is going to be a worksheet, an exercise for you to figure out what it is that truly lights you up and how you can take maybe your existing knowledge or your existing skills and turn that into a profitable business. So maybe you're doing network marketing right now and you want to expand your revenue by offering something of your own. This is the perfect worksheet for you and guide for you. Or if you're just kind of starting to think about your business and the idea of what maybe you could offer, or what you have been doing isn't really hitting, it isn't resonating with you. Maybe you're not in love with the way that your business, what you've been offering and how you've been showing up, and you want to kind of like reset, then this freebie, this gift is going to be perfect for you. Again, how to turn your knowledge into profit. And then along with that is a guide that's going to help you take this newfound discovery and this clarity that you have with potentially what your offer is going to be and how to actually turn it into a profitable business in under 30 days. So if you have, about 30 minutes a day or a couple hours a week to dedicate to this, then go ahead and download the free gift, How to Turn Your Knowledge into a Profit. Again, thechrissychin.com/profit, and get started. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you got some value out of this episode, I would love some support. And the best way to do that, so I can keep showering you with loads of actionable tips, is to hit that subscribe button. Leave a review or a comment if you're on YouTube, and share this podcast with a friend. And when you share it with a friend on social, please tag me so I can reshare your share in my stories. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out. I appreciate the heck out of you for showing up. And now it's time for you to take imperfect action so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more.